Okay, welcome back everybody to the Kaleidospoke Podcast with your host, Aaron, and the wonderful Richie Rich. So, given that we're in February, this is the month of love. And also your annual man tax needs to be paid. I'll talk about Valentine's Day. So, rather than having like two semi-intelligent men try to attack subjects in the realm of relationships and love, we decided to get a lovely guest on. She's the host of our very own podcast, Talks with Tash. Tash, what are you saying?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you on, man. Good to have you on.
I love how you said it's the February is the month of love. That was really good. I like that.
Every month should be the month of love. I
know. But he knows, like, hopefully, there's a lot of female listeners here, so I could see what he was doing there in the month of love,
Happy to have you on, Mr. Rich.
Thank
good
you so
to see you again.
Guys, for having me.
It's all good. How you doing, my friend? You okay?
I'm dandy. Everything's dandy.
Boom. Good. So we've got a couple of decent subjects to talk about today. And the first one's really light. Actually, it'll bring you back to, some nostalgic times in life. Today we'll be asking Tasha mainly, but we'll be finding out what Rich has to say and what I have to say too. Talking about like your first crush, celebrity crush. So, we don't want to get anyone in trouble with partners, so let's keep it to celebrity. Yeah?
Because that won't get anyone in trouble.
No, come on. Everyone can have celebrity crushes. You got pool passes all day. So we'll talk about who was your first crush back in the day, and then if you have any celebrity crushes today. For some, it might take a lot of thinking to think all the way back to 1950 when TVs were black and white.
The good old days.
Figure out who they crushed. Yeah. Your days, bro. So given that Tash, you're a guest should always go first. When you first started to feel stuff, who were you feeling in the beginning?
You mean the tingles? What stuff?
The belly rumbles, the heart skipping a beat. Good question. I actually remember. Little Romeo.
Oh, right.
Oh, my goodness.
I fancied him so much because he was in everything. And I was just like, and also he was a musician as well. I think he was like a rap artist as well. And he came out and did some bangers. And I was like, this guy is everywhere. I was just like, yeah, he's definitely my crush. Yeah.
He's the guy. He was Master P's son, right?
Yeah.
And
Little Bow Wow. Can we say that?
You can say as many as you want.
Yeah, I mean, that and Little Bow Wow. Everyone loved Little Bow Wow.
Yeah, he was a slick kid back in the day.
Yeah.
We're all grown now, so I'm not sure if he can still be that slick. But, I'm sure he's still got his thing going on. Little Romeo, that is memories.
I know, literally. Wasn't he in Cousin Skeeter as well, I think? Was he?
I think
he was.
So. Maybe.
I think he was. Yeah.
And what about today? Is there anyone that floats your boat today? By the way, you can say your husband. If you're married and you've got someone, you could just say my husband's my crush. It's up to you.
No, I'm sure he doesn't care anyway. I don't care, to be fair. So, yeah, he just knows I would just say it right, loud and proud. But I probably would go with only one. I feel like now that I don't really have celebrity crushes because I don't really look up to anyone anymore in the industry or celebrities. I would probably say Michael B. Jordan, but he's taken now by Lori Harvey. So it's like, but that's okay because she's like really, she's gorgeous, like out of this world. Yeah, because if he just went for like, I don't know, anyone, there would still be hope. But now it's like...
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? I think with Michael B. Jordan, I think there's a long queue. There's a long queue.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yeah. And I could see it. You know, he done the whole Black Panther thing. You know, I could see it. The guy's the guy, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. No, I liked him from what's that movie where he was like a defense lawyer and he was fighting for Black people's rights. Oh, yeah. I liked him in that movie before he started to do all the Black Panther stuff. But this is like old school Michael B. Jordan. This is before the creeds and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I knew him then. No.
Die Hard fan.
Fair. So, you know, you said you don't really have a crush, but you kind of do.
Nah, not there anymore. He's taken now.
You know, that's just
now
details.
It's like, oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Rich? Let's talk. Let's hear it. Talk quietly, because I don't want you to get in trouble, man. Please.
It's fine. This is like, you know, this is some years ago, so you know, this is pre. I think it must have been Mariah Carey. I think, from what I remember.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad shout. That was a good shout back then, definitely. She used to sing sweet lullabies as I rocked the cassette tapes, Sweet Fantasy and all that. You know, that was just Saturday mornings. That was just like jamming through my speaker. Couple posters maybe.
Like,
you know, as you do.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I love how you're unveiling more. You're like, yeah, sweet lullabies. Yeah, couple posters. Yeah, yeah. What else is there?
I think that's it. I mean,
a shrine or two.
I think that's it. I mean, that's as much as I would like to disclose.
Fair enough.
So just Mariah, that was it.
We're all gonna get in trouble. We're gonna get in trouble, all of us.
I'm not gonna get in trouble. No one could. I've got no one to be in trouble with. I'm fine.
Your mum, maybe.
I think she's all right. She knows who I am.
Or your potential love interest that's listening to this.
Future
She's like,
one.
I'm sure she won't be too jealous. You know, she's my future person. She's not a jealous person. I already know.
Sure.
Was it just Mariah? Was there anyone else in the frame then? Back then?
I can't really. I think that's obviously there was others as time went on, but I'm just going to leave it as one sweet love. You know, that's fine. Special place.
Okay. Playing it safe. What about now?
Now, yeah, my eyes are closed. Can't see. I'm blinded by love.
Smooth. That is smooth.
Man is legally blind.
It's the game.
Is that your final answer? Do you need to ask the audience or something?
Yeah. No, that's pretty it, to be honest. I mean, I can't, you know, my eyes are only set for one person in life now. That's it. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It's a good thing. You've won. That's the game, and you've won, I guess.
Jury's out.
Oh wow! Don't say that. That's going to get you in trouble.
Hilarious.
I think for me, my first crush was Tia from Sister Sister. Like, you remember?
No way.
Yeah. Because she was prettier than Tamara. I don't know why, but something about her was like, yeah. Tia's the thing.
I thought Tamara was prettier.
Nah, for me, there was something about Tia that was like, yeah. She was the smarter one as well, so it was like, yeah, I kind of like that one.
Interesting.
And I can't remember how old I was. I must have been young. So that's the other thing I think about. It's like, what was I thinking I was going to do with them exactly? You know, like I was too. I don't know what I was thinking. What just hug them maybe? I don't know. I was too young to think of.
Give him a kiss on the cheek, because that was like.
Yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. Even hugging, when you're like young, like hugging
someone. Yeah,
hugging, you get to like feel stuff kind of, weirdly. Kids are weird.
Oh, let me just get one hug.
So you're saying you're weird?
Why aren't you letting go?
I just really like, get with you. Oh.
I think after that, like more so like when I was a teenager, I think it was Christina Milian, because she was just buff. That was it, like 100%. Like I think she just had the vibe, and she was singing, and her dances, her songs all kind of like rooted in sexuality, like most people's songs these days. But so it's kind of like, yeah, Christina's good. I like her.
She was a good one.
And yeah.
That's a good one, to be fair.
She was. I mean, bringing it forward to today, today it gets a bit weirder, like, because, as we get a bit older, the tastes start to get a little bit more, what's the correct word? Exotic, maybe. And I don't know. I'm going to tell you, for me, these days, like, I don't really, like you said, like, not really crush, but kind of like really, really, really admire, and then it's kind of a crush. I really, really admire like women that are physically strong, like that can fight. So, I think I've got this weird crush on Amanda Nunes, which I don't know if you know, but she's this UFC fighter. It's not even sexual, but she's just so dominant. It's so admirable. It's like, oh my God, she just so strong, and it's like, oh wow. And I know it's a kind of a thing.
So you got the hots for her because you know that she'll most likely knock you out if you get out of line.
Without a doubt, it's not that she'll knock me out. She'll knock anyone I know out. You know what I mean?
Oh damn! I just looked up a picture of her as well.
Yeah, but it's not. Trust me, it's weird because it's not sexual. It's not like I think, oh my God, she's so hot. It's just the level of admiration is like so high, and when she fights, it's so dominant. It's like, what? This person exists. So kind of got this weird kind of crush on her.
Strange.
And I know. I told you. You get older, you get a bit more exotic. I told you. and then there's one more. Again, another UFC fighter, but she's actually buff. And but she's been, I think she fought the other day and she got retired because I don't think she was putting the right amount of work in, and the UFC cut her. But Rachel Ostovich, oh my God, like when I see her on Instagram, it's like, no, I just have to scroll past because it's not okay. I don't know. I don't know if you guys got, I can't
do these. Wait, let me see, Rachel. Which?
Can you see?
Okay.
Oh, she is hot though.
She is, and she can fight. Like she will, like beat the shit out of me, probably. Which is weird. I told you, it's kind of weird. Arm wrestle, punching, kicking, everything. It's weird. It's weird how that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it's just weird how our tastes change as we get older. Yeah. I guess it's just me then.
I would never have I don't know. It's not. I don't know. Maybe that's not quite. So you would actually like to go on a date and actually perhaps figure something out with this. Someone in that could potentially, I guess, pin you down and lock, handcuff you and beat you up.
No, handcuff is no. I didn't say anything about handcuffs.
Okay.
That's no.
I mean,
yeah, but you were thinking that, weren't you? Though.
No. What I was actually thinking is one day I'd like to spar with you. Actually, we could be a thing, but let's spar as well. I'd like to see how strong you actually are. I told you it's weird. Don't you have any like? I tell you, it's weird. Don't you have like has anything like got a bit that way for you, Tash? Like as you've got older, like, oh wow, I didn't know I liked that thing, and now I do. Wow.
Oh, what, like someone, a man that's like dominant, but not like wants to kill me?
I mean, fair. I think that's probably a fair comment.
I think I could probably speak for most women. It's probably like height.
Okay.
Well, for me, it's height anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say mainly height.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really weird or fetishes, I would say.
Is there too tall? Is there such thing?
Yeah, because I'm 5'3", so I can't you can't be 6 foot, like 6 foot something. My neck's gonna hurt. Do you know what I mean? You just got to be practical about certain things. Like I can't really just look up all the time at you, like, oh, my neck. So I just got to be like halfway, me down the middle. I'm okay with 5'8", 5'9" minimum. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm being realistic, right? I mean, 6 foot something is a bit unrealistic.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it depends how tall you are. I mean, I guess some women. I think Rick, you're like 6'3" or 4", something. I don't know how tall you are.
6'4", 6'5". Yeah.
Yeah, tall guy. Even my neck is like, bruv.
It's a different world here, you know. And what I hate about being tall is whenever there's conversations happening in a bar, pub, or something like that, and we're standing up, I can't hear nothing. What's going on down there?
No way.
It's so fucking hard. Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's just funny that you.
And by the end of the night, I've got a neck ache because I'm having to hunch down and listen to people. It's not nice. So all the tall people out there.
Do you ever get to the point where I'm done. I don't want to hear anyone. Like, this is where I'm at. Meet me at here. If you're not meeting me at this level.
Yeah, I'll do it.
But then
I'm out.
But then you'd have no friends. It's like, who's going to meet him at that level?
Sit down. We can sit down and have a nice chat.
That is true.
Much table talk.
Well, what do you think? What do you think it is about short men that women aren't really attracted to?
I don't think women aren't not attracted to short men anymore. I feel like women, if anything, we're just more like, we're more lenient, we settle. I think we're old school women anyway. I think now women are just not settling as much anymore. So if they know they can get a 6 foot guy, then they will get a 6 foot guy. But if they feel that their pool is small and the people that they've been around have all been short, then more likely they'll be with a short guy. But what I would say is that women are more susceptible to just having, any type of height, realistically.
Okay.
They just have boundaries, but they're more forthcoming, oh, well, apart from his height, we can work with that type of thing.
Okay. I mean,
whereas men, I feel like we, as women, we can probably learn a thing or two from you guys. You guys you have your boundaries and your standards, and you're like, nope, I like this UFC fighter. She's this tall, she looks like this, and that's it. That's my standard, and I'm not budging. Whereas we already know, but then there's this guy, and on paper he's got this and that, and he's nice, and then the next thing, he's not your 6 foot guy anymore. He's 5'5", but you're dating him anyway.
Life's a compromise, So, life's a compromise,
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. You know what? I think to a degree, I'd agree with you, especially as people get older. I think women tend to be a bit more compromising, but I don't. I mean,
we're just speaking about our eggs, really. I think
so.
It is.
Ultimately, I think so. It's if you haven't had any kids, it's time to get practical now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. I think more an older generation, probably above mid-30s, late 30s, people start to think, okay, yeah, I can live with a short person. Yeah, that's fine. That's when people start to compromise a little bit.
Okay.
But I can't speak for all women.
Sure.
That's what I've just seen. Yeah.
Maybe the thing with the height, maybe somebody who's tall kind of represents somebody who's good at protecting. So there's this kind of innate kind of drive to go with someone who's tall because they're better to protect the family. And then I guess maybe some women might not, especially if the woman's already short, some women might think twice about going with a short guy, because then if you do have babies and they end up being short as well, they might have maybe some stereotypical issues as they get older, maybe, you know? Yeah. So
I used to think like that. Actually. I used to say, oh, there's no way I'm looking at a short girl because I'm short as well. And that means I'm going to have short kids and I wouldn't have provided the life for my kids. They don't get to decide because of their height. And that's my fault. That's how I used to think. And then my mum told me, she was like, it doesn't work like that. Genes don't work like that. Your dad was tall. It just skipped you and it will probably just go to your child. And I was like, oh, now it makes sense. But obviously, if I could avoid being with a short person, then I would. But I used to be that woman, like, no.
No.
But now I'm more woke now. I'm educated. You know.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man.
I'm glad you've reached enlightenment, you know, in your wokeness now.
Yeah. You just got to talk to someone, and then they'll tell you, no, you're being stupid, and you'll be like, oh, okay. I get it.
Have you had like many friends or like that have had to compromise and go down the sort of like ladder of compromising with their tick boxes, and just kind of, you don't need to name names, but I mean,
no, none of my friends have actually compromised.
Have they not? Are they all single?
No. Some are dating. It's a mixture because some are dating, some are in relationships, some are just not interested at the moment, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say it's a mixture. Two of my best friends, one she's single, but I think she was dating recently, but she stopped dating. But she's not one to compromise at all. The other one as well, she's single as well, but she doesn't compromise. And we're like the same height, but she said she wants 6'4". So we were getting onto her the other day, like, this is unrealistic. We can't complain because we are part of the short club. So what are you talking about? Yeah. So I was like, I'm okay with 5'8". Like, that's okay. God, you know, it's 5'7" and God gives me, you know, I will, you know, that will be my compromise as long as someone's taller than me. And I was like, but how are you trying to bypass all the other tall women that want this 6'4" plus guy, and you're just coming and you're like, well, I want we were just like trying to put it down. But she was not budging. She was like, that is my list and that's my standard. Yeah. And that's it. No one's crossing it. So we're like, okay, fair enough.
Give her, you know, another 2 more years, 3 more years, and you know that conversation will be different. She'll be like going for 5'5". She'll be taking what she can get.
Yeah. No, she still said she wouldn't because we said the same thing to her. So I don't know. Yeah.
I think
I don't know.
I think some people generally just don't compromise. Some people are then lucky enough to find somebody who's 6'4" person, whatever. But then some people just end up single forever, or just in the realm of dating and not dating, and they don't find their person because they're so locked in their expectations. They haven't realized real people don't exist that way. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one point I wanted to add about the short. Why I think you mentioned earlier why women don't like short guys, or why women do go for short guys as well. Though I just feel like what short men lack in height, they make up for in personality. So more times they will have better banter, better personalities. Like they'll make you laugh. You'll have the best time with a short guy. That sounds so bad saying that, but do you know what I mean? And then you can just meet a tall guy, and he just had like girls turning up to him like at his feet. There's like he doesn't really need to engage, and he's just like just dead, like cardboard box. Like there's no personality to him, and it's like, oh well.
You know, there is something to what you're saying. I'm not sure if it's simply just height. It is height as well, but I think it's like people that tend to be like beautiful, or at least what society's idea of beautiful is. They don't have to really. I don't know. They don't have to work on their game to, you know, get the other gender or get the things that they want in life in general. So they don't. So the people that, you know, maybe aren't blessed with the height or good looks or the intelligence, they then have to work at their game. So they start developing their sense of humor. They start developing, I don't know, points of interest. So then they become more interesting because actually just looking at them doesn't gain them anything. So I kind of agree and kind of get with what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, there's the idea that short men have a syndrome, have tendencies to get angry. I mean, I've seen a few, and that might be true,
They do. Yeah. They suffer from short man syndrome. I mean, I have seen a couple small, short guys, and yeah. They literally generally have like midget anger, like they just, yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I can't believe I said that. But we're being real on here, right? This is the real, so we're talking straight back. Yeah, and they just get angry about like little stuff. That's where like the little insecurity comes out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why are you looking over there? And you're like, wait, what? Because he's taller than you? Like,
yeah.
I can't. That's just like short men can just be the ghetto. Like.
What, are you changing your tune? Is this a change of tune or something? Because I thought short guys were okay a minute ago.
No, I'm just talking. No, I'm talking from experience. And I don't have a problem.
You can only talk from experience.
Yeah, but I'm also talking from what I've seen. So I'm trying to not be biased, but what I've seen and how like my friends have told me stories and like, yeah, that's what it's mainly. And also I have short guy friends. Oh, wow. So I see when they come to me and they tell me like stories, yeah, I kind of get it.
You're gonna have quite a few like angry, quite a few angry messages like when this is out.
No, because I've already told them as well. I'm like, you're short.
You're in the club. You can't speak outside of. You can't speak out of like line when you're in the club. Like you're in the short club.
I can because I'm short, so it's fine.
Yeah, oh, right.
Okay. Fair. All right. So look, let's switch it up. We're in 2021 now, and all sorts has happened over the last year or so. But one thing that hasn't changed is people getting married. I mean, maybe that's changed a little bit because it's a bit difficult to get married with a big whole ceremony. But people go to the registry office and I've been doing that for the last year or so. But is marriage like as relevant as it was once upon a time now in 2021? Is it still something that's relevant? I mean, do you think it's like something that people really still believe in? I'll start with Rich. Do you think it's something that people still believe in, or it has any value?
I think it's something that it's a social norm, right? Like, it's from back in the day of I don't know. Actually, hold on, wait. I don't know where wedding comes from, right? But it feels like it's something that may become a few hundred years ago. I don't even know, right? But it definitely feels like it's losing its how can I say it? It's
relevance.
It's losing its value. It's losing its relevance. It's losing its like yeah. I don't know.
All right. Before I go to you, Tash, I'm gonna say, like, I did some digging, and it said, I think it was over the course of the last 3 years, 42% of marriages end in divorce. Each wedding in the UK costs around £16,000 on average. And with on-demand dating apps, it's like it might be difficult to see the appeal of being married. I mean, do you see the appeal of being married? Is it relevant to you?
I wanted to listen to the married person first, so I could just get some gems. I was just like, okay, taking it all in.
They'll come. Don't worry. There's more.
Is it still relevant today? The question was.
Sure. Yes, we could start with that, and then you could say, is it still relevant to you?
I think, okay, maybe I should start with me. I think personally for me, marriage is definitely relevant to me still. And whoever my future partner will be, or whether it's this one now or someone else, like, it will always be relevant to me. In regards to society today, I just think that as a nation, or just people have just got comfortable and are just settling quickly. Like they're cohabiting and just thinking that, right, I might as well, because obviously, the girlfriend and boyfriend thing happened, people just move in together. And before you know it, you've moved in, but you've been in a relationship with this person for like 8 to 10 years. Hello, there's no marriage proposal. Everyone's just like really comfortable. And yeah, because it's just comfort. and everyone's just like comfortable. So you're just like, well, that my partner's there. I don't see any rush to marry that person, because that is my person. And I just think it's a way of being a bit, not lazy, I would say, just a way of just being like, you know, there's no way to move forward, like there's no rush to move forward. So it's just a matter of comfortability. And now, because our generation's changed, that we can actually do those things, that we can move in with our partner or significant other, we can be with them forever, like no one's going to judge you. But I think back in the day, like my parents' day, that was like not a thing. You would actually have to court for a long time, even not that long. And then if you really wanted this person, you would actually have to say, I really want to get married to your daughter. And then both the families come together and it will be valued like that. And the next thing, a month down the line, they're getting married and doing things traditionally. And I think it's like we're so far away from that, as we used to. I do feel like some cultures still value that. Like in a lot of Asian cultures, they still do value that as well. They still do things like that as well. And just having quite a few Asian friends, they do value things like that. And one of my friends, she's actually getting married, and she did things like that as well. She courted first and, did the whole shebang, and then that's how they're going to get married. But I would say, like, it's just a mixture. I just think everything is so comfortable right now. Like I said, like you were mentioning earlier, like the dating apps going on there, like flicking. And also, I think there's just too much choice and options at the moment. I think that's what the main thing is. I can't just say more for men, but I would also say for women now. Women are actually having a lot of options. So it goes both ways. So women are like, well, I can just date this person to whatever, sack this person off, and then date this person whenever. So I don't know. It's just a mess, really.
I mean, it's interesting because I guess historically, right? Like when women's rights weren't so advanced as they are now, a woman couldn't buy a house without a man, and there'll be certain jobs women can't do. So then it was almost by unionizing in a marriage, a woman is then able to, live somewhere. And so there was like a practical reason. And I think as time's gone on, the practical reasons to get married have got less and less and less. I think that currently, the only practical reason to get married is probably to increase your credit rating. And this is assuming that both people are of the same, the same kind of, same kind of income level. And they're probably from a secular culture. Like, I mean, near enough, and they're of a secular culture, then like they kind of, the practical use for the marriage is kind of minimalizing. But I do agree that in certain cultures, marriage is valued differently, I think as well, the ability to travel to other countries on a whim, not so much now, but pre-COVID, the internet, dating apps has all, like you said, just opened your world up to all these options. And then what people end up doing is having an idea of who their ideal person is. And some people don't ever stop looking. Do you know what I mean? So they never end up finding the person, and they never end up marrying anyone because, they like you said, that there's just such an array of people and to choose from all around the world. I personally do think that marriage, in my mind, the value isn't very much. Personally, I think if somebody chooses to be with somebody else, then I think that's all that really matters. If they're being true to each other. I have an issue inviting the law into my love. It's a bit weird, like
Really?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's like, look, man, if for some reason we break up and we got kids, I'm hoping that the love that we had, like we can amicably, move away from each other. That's okay. If you need the house, then you could take the house or something, rather than having to involve the law. And then what ends up happening is that lawyers just get rich. Do you know what I mean? Like they just suck whoever's got the money. But I'm assuming in divorce. I'm only assuming divorce. But then it just feels, why would you open up yourself to being divorced when you could just be with someone? I don't know what the value is, but I can understand maybe in a title for someone, maybe the woman, the title is of value, you know. But to me personally, if I'm with someone and I've said this is the person I want to be with, I'm your husband anyway. Don't really, that doesn't, just because there's, we signed some documents and, had a nice little party, that doesn't mean that I'm more your husband now, personally. To me, I have to qualify.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, it's not just a wedding's not just a thing that, well, not say nowadays, it's not generally just a thing just for you two. It's like a thing for you two and the family and the friends. You're kind of placing a stake in the ground and saying, we declare our love in front of people. And one, it's a lot of pressure, it puts another bit of pressure on the relationship to some degree. But it's always like this title. It's like, when like you're first like maybe dating someone, or you're going on a couple of dates, and then it comes to the point of a conversation where generally this comes from the woman, right? Are we? I can't just keep on dating. We need to like progress. We need to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put a label on it, and then you can't, and then you can't be like a boyfriend girlfriend for a few years, because then they're like, well, okay, we've been boyfriend and girlfriend for a few years. What's next? And marriage is the next thing. So it's like, it's kind of funny how we're just programmed to think like this is like, this is like the way we kind of need to progress our relationship. And unless you put a label on it, unless these events happen, it's not progressing. And it can be progressing because you both could be growing. You both could be living your best life without having this title of, husband and wife. I do think that, having a daughter, I think that it would be nice as a parent to see your child make that commitment, because it's a serious thing. It's like, I guess nowadays you mentioned before, we got so much options out there, and even the younger generation will, and it's all digital, that the value of a relationship is decreasing, right? Or the value, like it's fluid. So to see like my child, my daughter, put their stake in the ground, or having someone put their stake in the ground as well and say, yeah, this is it, we're not playing around, this is actually serious. I think I appreciate that a wedding does do that. It puts a bit of a seriousness to it, because it has law involved perhaps, and also because it's like it's not as you could just move out and take your stuff out. There's other considerations to be made. So it definitely has its place. It feels like people are comfortable these days more so than ever, because it's just easy to move in without having any hassle from parents, especially in our in the British culture anyway, at least. So it's a funny one, but again, statistically there's divorces left, right and center. So
yeah, I agree. I think also the thing that you mentioned there was like the marriage kind of gives it like the stamp. It solidifies everything. Like, I'm so serious about you. And I know you said you don't like law being involved in your relationship, but it's like what Richard is like, I'm so serious that I'm really willing for the law to come into our relationship to show you how much I love you, and that I'm not going to move out tomorrow with our bags or whatever, and I'm not going to leave you. Ride or die kind of thing. Like, we're in this for the long haul. And I think it makes things more serious with the marriage aspect. And I feel like that's why I can kind of get why our parents think like that and why they say these things, or our grandparents as well, etc. Because they know they've been through it, and they're like, no, this person is serious about you because, you're engaged now, you're this, you're that. That means, you can't say they're not going to look, but they're not really looking at anyone else. Like, you are the one for me right at this moment, at this time. And I feel like I'm going to do life with you. You know what I mean? Whereas you're in a relationship, tomorrow, realistically, that person doesn't really owe you anything. They can actually go up and leave, it's a cold world out here. At the same time, I feel like with people, if you have respect and decency, you should tell someone, you know what, I think the love has died. We're no longer in love. I'm no longer in love with you, and explain it to them. But some people can just be like, this isn't for me anymore, and that's it, and they can just move out. And you've been in that relationship which you thought you were married for, for a very long time, and I feel like that's where the lines kind of get blurred. So it's like past the law, I would say. But think about the bigger picture as well. And I think when people have kids as well, when they're not married and they're in relationships as well, is where people kind of stay. And my aunts have told me this as well. Well, we had the kids and then you guys were born and, we just kind of stayed. And it's like, that shouldn't really be the thing. Especially now, like people just don't do that anymore. People are like, so I can get a divorce. I take the kids. You can see them on Fridays and after I have them, for Monday and Wednesday, and you can see them Friday and Sunday, like that type of thing, because people don't have time anymore. But I feel like then it was like when you're married, you have to fight for it, even though you're struggling in the relationship. And I think it's just such a bigger context of the whole marriage thing. For me, it's not law. It's like I look at all those aspects as well. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, do you think that the dedication to each other should be there before the marriage? Like, does the marriage have to exist for that type of dedication to exist?
Oh, the dedication should 100% be there before the marriage.
So if it's already there, what's the use of the marriage?
Good question. But I definitely think that the marriage, like I said, kind of solidifies everything. It puts everything into perspective, because someone can just keep telling you that I'm not going to leave you, and the dedication is showing. But again, it's the action, the act of service that you're doing to that person. Their love language or your love language, whatever. You're telling them, I'm not going to leave. Let's go to registry or whatever and just get married.
I think
what belongs to you, what yours is, what mine is yours, and yours is mine. That type of thing, and we're doing this together.
Yeah. I think though, it totally left my mind. I don't know. I do think I understand it. What you're saying. That's it. It came right back. I guess it really depends on how much you value your vows to that person when you're getting married, right? Like, if it is really to death do you part and you're actually saying this and meaning this, then I can understand making a pledge in front of everybody does demonstrate that, I'm very serious about this person. This is the person I'm going to be with until I die. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of people make this pledge and end up divorcing. So I guess it then depends on, again, it's, in my mind, it's all about dedication, which is void of marriage, because this is about the people, if I always think, what if, I decided, if me and my partner decided that actually we love each other, we're going to be dedicated to each other, and we just held a fake wedding, like, and just had a sick party. She came out in a dress. There was like some fake vicar, whatever, and just said whatever, and had this wedding, didn't register. Who would know the difference, really?
What about the last name, kind of thing? Like, do you have any desire? Is that like, you're not bothered about that? Sharing a last name?
I mean, I'm not territorial. I'm not territorial. I don't mind if someone doesn't have my last name. I also think, though, and I've heard this, if you are going to get married, and a lot of men say this, if you're going to get married and, go through all of this, because I think many men think, actually, this doesn't truly add too much value to our relationship. I think many men, not all men, but many men do. If we're going to go through this, then at least take my last name. And I think some men are like quite adamant about that. I personally don't mind, but I'm not really interested in getting married. So, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I think that there's, I guess it depends where you are, like, mentally in, I guess, a relationship, right? Mentally about relationships. I guess if you are building a family and you are saying, okay, this is the person that I'm going to build a family with. And, you know, when you get the post and you both got the same last name, or when you go to the airport, you both got the same last name. I guess that's a key sign and symbol explicit to yourself and maybe the other, everyone, that you are one family, you are one name, traveling or hand in hand, whatever. So I guess that element, that wedding, marriage does have value and plausibility, and has its place, even if there is a divorce statistically down the line, as long as you're together and you're building, you're sharing the last name. I think there's still value in that.
I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Would you keep your last name if you used to get married?
I'm not really bothered about the last name, to be honest. I don't know why. Yeah, no. I could take his, I can keep mine.
Yeah. I mean, generations put a lot of blood and sweat into that name that you got back there.
Yeah. I might just do a Kim Kardashian West, Kim Kardashian West, like Natasha, Yeah, because nice. I do like my name. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I do like my name.
Yeah.
Only if his surname is dead, but I can't tell him that his surname is dead. So I'm just gonna have to be like, oh no, it's because I want a double-barreled name. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with you. But really, it's I really don't like your family name. So I'm gonna keep my name. But you can't let him know that, obviously.
Yeah, your family name is not good enough for me, basically.
No. Seeing the letters and you see that family name, that's not my name.
That's not my name. What about because I've got a double-barreled name, right? That's wild. So if you get with someone who's got a double-barreled name, how does that all work? You just take their double-barreled name and then your name goes to mist somewhere, and then the kids have their double-barreled name, and
Oh my God, yeah, that's actually a good point. Oh my gosh, that means we'll have 5 names.
Yeah, triple barrel.
It depends how many names. Triple barrel. I've never heard of a triple barrel name. I'm sure they're out there, but I mean, where's the rules? Who cares about the rules, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Normally, you would take the triple barreled surname as well, though.
I'm not sure how many men are willing to change their name by getting married. I'm not sure. In fact, I think in the realm of men, if you get married and somehow now kind of inherited your wife's name, if you start talking about that around other men, they're not going to respect you. You're going to get issues.
Really? Why?
I think so. Because you're the man in the scenario. If you're dropping your name, or if you're somehow changing your name, that's almost against the rules. It's you've kind of lost your role in this. You're gonna not be the man anymore. You're just, I don't know, not the man. There is one thing that I think is terrible. I think in one scenario it's terrible to be married. If you're rich, I think it's terrible to be married. I think it's the worst thing you could do to yourself if you're rich. We've already seen it this year not this year, last year. Dr. Dre, his wife wanted $2 million a month for some reason. The kids are all grown up. What do you want, bruv? And it's not just women that do that. I think sometimes women get a bit of stick because they tend to end up being the ones in the scenario where they're saying, oh, we're divorced, I want X, Y, Z. But I mean, I think the other day, Kelly Clarkson, she's going through a divorce, and her estranged husband is wanting, I think it's $500,000 a month. So it's wild, you get divorced, you can go bankrupt, which is crazy. If you met this person and you was already successful, and then it goes wrong, and now you have to not be successful because you just failed one relationship. It's mad. That's scary. That's the scary thing to me. It's dude, if we want to be,
you both have to be on the same level, maybe.
Yeah. Or you just have to, do the prenups. I guess if you're rich, you've got to do a ton of prenups. But I think sometimes the other partner starts to think, oh, well, if you're doing prenups, then you must be already thinking of divorce. and like you're not really dedicated in this anyway. It's dark world. Just avoid.
I think prenups are legit, like 100% legit. Like there shouldn't be any
wow.
There shouldn't be any
wow.
What? Like especially if you are like A-list or some sort of like if there's a big imbalance, then you need to protect yourself. You need to protect yourself. Wear a rubber, Jimmy.
Hilarious.
How do you feel about like signing prenups, Tash?
I would sign one.
It's reasonable.
It's fair. I think it's fair.
Good.
Yeah, it's fair.
Good.
Like honestly, because women want different things in life, and I know I'm going to be, I am already successful, and I'm going to make millions, and I'm manifesting that, and my partner's going to be making millions, So if anything goes wrong, he's protecting himself, I'm protecting myself, and if we can't have that discussion, then clearly we're not meant to be married. Simple discussion.
I think so. All right. So, given that we're in the month of love, I thought, like, this is just before we head off, that I'll pose a couple of Valentine's Day scenarios to you, Tash, and to you, Rich, to you both, and see what you do in these scenarios. So there's 3 scenarios, and I just want to hear your opinion. All right. So I'll alternate between Tash and Rich. So I'll go Tash, Rich, Tash, Rich, Tash, Rich. Okay, it's all good. I'm gonna negate my opinion. All right.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
All is fair in love and war and Valentine's Day. So, all right. Scenario 1, yeah. Scenario 1. All right. It's early dating stage, yeah, and it's Valentine's Day. You go out with this guy. It's amazing. You have a great time. What's your favorite restaurant, Tash?
Yeah, I'm not going to say like the Nobu's or whatever, because that's just not me. I like a good old Turkish on my Greenwich High Street. So Sefa, that's my favorite restaurant. Love that.
He takes you to your favorite restaurant, right? It's early dating stage. And then at the end of it, 'cause it's been a great night, he wants you to spend the night at his. What do you say to that?
Hell no. Actually, no. Actually, it depends on the connection. Yeah, I'm being honest. Because ladies, let's not lie. We don't have to do this all the time. We like to lie and say, oh, I wouldn't like, come on, we're all adults out here. Like, if you want to go back, you can. Obviously, you get a vibe before. And more time if I've gone on a date with this person, I've already had like FaceTime calls, you've already spoken. The date's probably gone well. So, yeah.
Yeah? So you'd say yes? Or
depends on the connection.
It depends on the connection. Depends on the connection.
Depends on the connection.
Okay.
I mean, it is Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day, it's the day of love. Might as well make it the night of love too. Why not?
Exactly.
All right. How do I pose this to you, Rich? All right. So, all right, you've had a great date, yeah. You've taken, this person that you've just been talking to on to her favorite restaurant, right? And you're thinking in your head, right? I want her to come back with me. What do you say? How do you say that? How do you approach that?
I've got some really nice herbal tea. Have you ever tried? I don't know, this infusion. This mango and peppermint infusion.
Okay.
You can see what kind of dates I'll be going on.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Come back for some tea. Okay.
Can I challenge Rich on this though? Can I, please?
Go.
I'm the girl, okay, in this scenario. Why would I want to come back to yours for tea?
It's a nice tea. Like, it's very good, especially after a meal. It's really good for your
but there's tea at the restaurant.
Digestive system. Yeah, I know, but like this is like a ritual for me. So I always love to do this, and it'd be a very special moment to share a tea.
Right. Okay. Weirdo alert.
Hashtag
Weirdo alert. Abort mission.
I'm out of the game.
Oh, good.
That would only work. That would actually work if you were actually talking about tea, that like in the day, and you were actually really good tea lovers. Do you not think?
Yeah, maybe if you both were like proper tea aficionados.
Yeah,
I think
that could actually work.
Yeah. Those are the bars you're going with, bro?
Yeah. I mean, guys, if you're out there and you need some help, you can call my number 0800 Mr. Hitch. Free consultation.
My God,
cultured people only.
Cultured people only. Tea aficionados only. Oh, yes. All right, boom. Scenario 2, yeah? All right, so you've been seeing this guy for a while, yeah? And again, it's Valentine's Day. But he tells you that he has to work like last minute and he can't make it. Is this a problem?
Yeah, it's a problem because it's Valentine's Day.
I mean, you've been talking for a while though.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been seeing them for a while.
Yeah.
You've been seeing them for.
If we were talking about Valentine's Day the whole time and then it just happened, I'd be annoyed. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be annoyed. Yeah.
It is work.
But if we were just talking and then, okay, fair enough. If you can make it up to me, then fair enough.
Fair enough. If you can make it up for you, okay, fine. Yeah, that's a fair answer.
Make it up to me, fair enough.
If it was like a Valentine's Day, what's the longest time that you would wait for? This isn't a first date; it's a couple of dates. But what's the longest that you would wait until it's like, okay, that's enough?
Oh, for him on Valentine's Day,
for him to show up, yeah. Or what's the longest you have waited?
I haven't really waited. To be fair, I haven't really had that many Valentines, to be fair. So I don't really... Normally I just spend it with the girls. But the last two that I remember, they were always on time, like 6, 7 p.m. The longest I'd probably wait is 9 p.m. You know, you've got to do your hair, your makeup. It's just long. And then you have to think the restaurants are going to be closing soon. Like, just, yeah. It's got to be practical.
I think that makes sense.
So 9 p.m., that's the longest I'll wait.
I think that makes sense. How am I going to pose this to you, Rich? Like, you know, again, I could just put you in a role play scenario where you've been seeing this girl for a while, and then, but you got to go to work. In fact, no, wait. She tells you that she's got to go to work last minute. How do you deal with that?
I just put on Fortnite and chill. Call up the boys.
Fair. It doesn't matter.
So it's game night.
Fair enough. Who cares about Valentine's Day, I guess?
It's more of a big deal for girls, you know. It's not, you know.
Yeah, it's not even that much of a big deal for me, to be fair. I'm just being honest. Maybe because I haven't celebrated that much, but I don't really care. I mean, you should be able to show your love all the time.
I mean, if you can get away with showing it one day a year versus the other 355 and getting like the same outcome, then I don't know. Like, it's probably worth turning up on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but most men, like, they don't even... I saw a meme recently, and it was like all the men finding out that their girl, like, Valentine's Day is not happening anymore because we're in lockdown. And then there's these men like running up and down like going, yeah, because they know that they don't have to spend money in lockdown. It was so hilarious.
Trust me.
But we know like only us women like it.
Yeah, trust me, it's a man tax. It's such a man tax. But it's okay because it's a day of love, but it is like almost guaranteed. If you're in a relationship, even if you don't talk about it, even if you don't go out somewhere, it comes up. It's like, oh, the day's coming, like, what are we gonna do? And then if you say, oh no, let's just be chill, they'll be like, if they're cool, they might be like, all right, no problem. If they're not so cool, they're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna hold this on you for like a week or 2 or 10. And then, you're just like, oh, well, maybe I should have done something on Valentine's Day. It would have saved me a bit of headache. Maybe.
Because it's not just the fact that we want it, but like us women, we have our friends. When you talk to your girlfriends and you're like, oh, what did he do for Valentine's Day? What did you do? oh, I got roses. Oh, he took me here and there. And you're just like, damn, he didn't take me anywhere. We didn't do that. That's what kills us. Knowing that someone else, one of your friends has been treated nicely and you haven't. I think that's all it is. Like, show and tell as well.
Yeah. You could argue the same thing. You could argue the same thing for marriage, right? It's like, oh, look at my ring. Oh, look at my ring. Oh, my ring is bigger. Oh, look, it blinks a little bit more. Maybe. That's hypothetical.
Yeah, 100% the ring matters. The ring matters.
the ring matters. All right, boom. Last scenario, yeah? Okay. So you've been talking with this guy for a while. You've talked, but you haven't met, yeah? And your first meeting is on Valentine's Day, right? He takes you to your favorite Turkish restaurant in Greenwich. And then at the end of the day, he says to you, all right, look, I'm going through a bit of a tough time. I can only pay half of this date. Is that a deal breaker?
No. I just think I'm a proper understanding person, because anything can happen. Like, it's the fact that he still showed up anyway, and we both showed up. That's definitely not a deal breaker. If it was to happen the second time, I'd be like, now this can't happen.
Flag.
Yeah, why are you taking me out if you can't afford it? Do you know what I mean? But the first time, like, anything happens, anything can happen. Like, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. It's like what you do afterwards in the meantime. Like, are you talking to me? Are we speaking to each other? You making the effort. But that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me.
Okay, cool.
Is this the woke you like responding?
Yeah, this is the woke me, by the way.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That wasn't the pre-woke.
Yeah, the old fashioned be like, hell no. The old fashioned be like, hell no.
You gotta go.
Yeah, like, he gotta go. He's in the bin. He gotta go. That's literally what I would. Yeah.
But I'll just ask you, Rick, instead of posing the whole question. Like, if you couldn't afford like on a first date, especially being Valentine's Day, if you couldn't afford the whole thing, would you even turn up?
I will strongly suggest alternatives. So, just maybe let's just like have a walk in a park in Hyde Park, and get a bottle of wine, and I'll bring like a tea towel, and we can just like chill by the the little lake or something like that, and then maybe bring a speaker, and then just have some music. I'll try to really like sway it, so it's like, oh, this guy's like really really thoughtful. Doesn't have to like, it's different.
You see, that is good. That's alternative. He's thinking outside the box, which is what we like. But they're not turning up, and then maybe trying to talk to me after. You're in the bin,
bin.
Yeah.
In the bin.
You are in the bin. Not even the recycling. You can't even get recycled. You're going in the black bin. You can't come back.
Right. I'm talking about the food bin. The green bag one, the collie. Yeah, you're in that bin.
It's a bad bin to be in.
No. Oh no. Well, I'll offer my opinion on the last one. The other two, whatever. But the last one, I honestly think that on the first date, the guy should pay. You should be paying, man. If you're not in a realm where you can afford that first date, then you need to focus on yourself. You need to not date anybody and just get your money up a little bit, and then come to the fray, because it's only going to get more expensive from that point onwards. So, it's best that, you be able to get that first date. And like Rich said, if it's, if you're not working with like a Nobu budget or like some Benhana budget, then, just take it easy. Like, be creative, walk in the park, have a view, drink some wine. After one bottle of wine, or maybe two, depending on your tolerance, nobody cares about anything anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, so, you can just be creative like that. So yeah, boom. I think we should start wrapping it up, right? Because it's like an hour and 10 minutes. Wow, that's pretty good. Tash, thanks for coming. How did you find it?
Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun. I've had so much fun. I could definitely speak to you guys a lot longer.
Yeah.
It's just too funny.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah, it's all good. We'd probably love to have you on again at some point.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. Also, it'd be good to get you on the podcast as well, actually.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, you got our number, so just let us know. And for everyone listening, just let everybody know your socials, where to find you, where to find your podcast.
Okay. So my socials are Talks With Tash Pod on Instagram, Talks With Tash Pod on Twitter, and Facebook as well. Talks With Tash Pod on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And also my personal Instagram is Natasha Revita. And also you can email in, send us your queries at talkswithtashpod@gmail.com, and I will answer if anyone wants to feature. Or also I like feedback as well. I've been getting a lot of feedback, which is good. So yeah, just holla. Boom.
Richie Rich, any last words?
No, it's a pleasure, Tash. Thank you for joining the show. I'll be glad to go on your show. It'll be another interesting deep dive into perhaps relationships. Who knows? That I'm an expert in, of course. But yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, I think we might get you guys to talk about your. I really liked your episode where you're talking about how you can elevate in 2021. You're talking about your finance breakdown and how to make money. I think that a lot of my listeners would want to know that as well. Your conversation with your dad was really good. So I think you'll be really good at navigating and talking to fellow, other podcasters as well on the platform. Very knowledgeable, both of you. It'd be good to have you on.
Oh, well, thanks. We like to think that we're knowledgeable, but then we look at each other and usually there's just space between the ears, so but no, thanks for coming on. And to everybody else, just if you want to find us on our socials, look in the description, it's all there. And thanks for listening. Ciao.